The Lookout Winery won its case against the ABC, but at an incredible cost. In fact, the cost is so high, you wonder if you can still call it a victory.
The Lookout Winery and Pizzeria.
You got good food before you go.
Family recipes.
Grandmother's pizza recipe from Naples, Italy.
Family sweat and blood to build this little business in tiny Gill, Tennessee, perched just above Nickajack Lake, right off I-24 on your way to Chattanooga. The Tennessee Alcohol and Beverage Commission wrote the Bordogna family a $5,000 citation for selling alcohol to a minor, even though the minor never spoke to anyone in the winery. The adult agent ordered the wine and paid for the wine. Apparently, the teenager later scooped the wine up and walked out the door with it. This is not how it's supposed to happen. And the Bordogna family won its case against the ABC. State Senator Janice Bolin.
I just was utterly flabbergasted. I was shocked. I was disappointed. I was disgusted.
And that was before the latest development. Remember, the judge ruled the ABC broke its own laws in giving this citation to the Bordogna family.
The state of Tennessee courts came back and said, hey, you were right. They did commit fraud, but we're not going to pay you back. So they come in and perpetrate a fraud. I have to defend myself. If I lose, I pay their fees and mine. If I win, I have to pay my fees. So they can go into any business, decide, let's go mess with this guy. So, oh, you don't want to pay the extortion fine of $5,000? Then guess what? Take us to court.
The Bordogna spent $40,000 of retirement money winning this case. Let's do the painful math.
They get the $5,000 ticket erased. It's gone. Fair. Today, the judge ruled that they do not get their $40,000 back. So they win in court, and they've lost $35,000 by winning.
Oh, insult to injury or injury to insult. That's injury. $35,000 for a small business in my rural counties.
The Bordognas fought for their family business, but they knew they were up against something big when the state lawyer refused to drop the case even after hearing the facts.
The prosecutor should have never brought the case, because if she'd have done her job and looked at the statute which says the young man has to ask for the booze and pay for it, if she even asked them that question.
Nashville State Representative John Ray Clemens is a lawyer and believes this might call for a change in the law so that from now on, if the state loses, the state pays.
The last thing you want is the government having its thumb on small business owners in such a way that's unfair to them. You know, we have regulations. We don't want minors to be sold alcohol, so the regulations are absolutely necessary. Enforcement is absolutely necessary, but it needs to be executed and carried out in a fair manner. And to the extent it isn't, there needs to be accountability for that. The state needs to be held accountable. And perhaps one way the state can be held accountable is by guaranteeing those attorney's fees.
The ABC told us after our first story that it will use this incident to provide additional training. But we have more questions, and this time the ABC is not answering. But now we are not alone in asking.
Surely there is justice in this, and if we have to rewrite a law to make sure, but I hope we can find a way that it's going to help this couple in particular and not just potentially future people down the road. I'm hoping that something happens that's consequential enough that this practice will never take place again.
We are still looking for those answers, and we're not giving up easily, but now we're not the only ones asking questions. I'm Dennis Ferrier, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.